Welcome back to Watching Film and Varnadore Films. I am Seth Varnadore. I'm a former high school and college football coach. Now I break down film here on YouTube with a particular emphasis on the Florida Gators. So Florida's won 2 in a row for only the second time this year. Things seem to be kind of turning a corner here. Let's go ahead and get into the game. We'll just look at the South Carolina game here. We'll kind of go sequentially through this game. Let's start with the first play on offense. A little jet sweep to start. It seems like they're reading this. There's definitely kind of a bash element to it, to where you've got that leading up, and the line is coming back and blocking this way. So quarterback could keep that. So on a lot of these jet sweeps, I think everyone that's not under center, it seems like the quarterback has the ability to give it or to keep it. And you'll see that come up later in the game on ETN's long run. So great first down play. Later in the drive, you get 2nd and 10. And now you're going to show kind of the same action here. And this is an awesome kind of wrinkle to pull out if you're Florida. Something you haven't shown all year to kind of pull it out now. You're going to go power read off the jet. So normal power. All right, so there's the jet motion. Normal power, you want down blocks. You usually have a kick out block, kicking this guy out. And then you got a puller wrapping inside for the backer typically. Now, what changes on power read? It's the same here, double team, down. And now the jet motion here. And now I'm just going to read this guy. So I block him by reading him, and he has the same exact path. So a nice way to get to power without having 2 backs or a tight end in there to do some kind of power lock. Power read. So right there, as soon as he flies out, Richardson knows I'm keeping this thing. Guard is pulling around for the backer. You also, with the jet motion, you get this flow here after giving it already, so you get some good flow from the defense as well. And that opens up that big lane where he doesn't even get touched until he's at about 8 yards there. And I thought he had a good line, Richardson did, in the media this week, basically saying that, hey, I'm 240 pounds. The defenders need to feel this weight, which is good to hear from him, because I think him in the run game is definitely a weapon that makes this offense all that much better. You can see it from here. Here's my read. Widen. I keep up inside. And really, the jet action gets a bunch of dudes out of there. So why do they run the jet motion, that kind of stuff? That's why: displacement, post-snap, and pre-snap. Here's one. They're running the crosser here, just a missed throw, it would appear. So off the 2-back look, I wonder if we're going to get to any. It looks like the back is here and maybe has the ability to kind of get out there. So you have kind of a nice little triangle here. It's hard to tell if he's going to the post or what here. He's going inside, so I'm assuming he's got an in-breaking route. So probably post there. You have the deep crosser and a pretty good job in protection here. You have a little pocket. This one, if you put on him, get out in front of him, you've got a chance. Miss behind him. Not much of a chance there. So you get a 3rd and 10 here. This is a nice little free access. This is going to be tagged on the backside of a lot of concepts, I would imagine. If this guy's off, you have that option. He looks like he's coming shallow. It's hard to tell. They may be running like a shallow cross where he's got to dig over the top. The camera angle here doesn't give us a ton of information. But right there, as soon as you see that guy rolled off, and this is really good timing by Richardson and a really accurate throw. I mean, that's right where you want it right there for a first down. Good stuff. Here's a little wrinkle they put in that I'm not exactly sure if they're doing it this way. I've seen some teams do it this way, or if they're just all window dressing. But here's a wing. The ball gets snapped a little early here. So he's running to the flat. They're blocking the end here, it looks like, right? He's not in a real hurry to leave this guy. And then once there will be times, and I'm not sure because there's one later where it does not look this clean, and it kind of left me wondering on this one. Some teams will read this guy in the quarterback run in the read game. They'll read him. They'll read second level defenders sometimes, right? Because right here I could give it or I could keep it, and then I got this throw out here as well as like a modern triple option. So the fact they're blocking him and not cutting him loose makes me think that maybe they're reading this guy. And you see he just flies out to the flat route. And now who's left inside for the back? Nobody. So that's all kind of post-snap or pre-snap right there. You get a good look. Then post-snap, once this guy's out, if he flies with him, well, now nobody's left here. There's my lane to run through. There's one later where it definitely looks similar, but that linebacker stays, and it certainly looks like, here's the back look of it. You see him flying out with that flat motion. There's nobody left in the box for the run game. Third and goal. They've done this a few times. Great job up front blocking. There's going to be, maybe they're waiting for Florida State, but there's going to be a throw off this. They've run this enough times. And this was a look I thought gave Carolina some problems. If you watch the preview, I talked about it. Running back to a nub look. They don't even have the nub tight end over here. They have the tight ends over here. But in the nub look, they always seem to have one outside. And then if you're reading this one, and that comes up later, you've got some good angles here. But what they do is they motion across. You don't get a ton of movement there. It comes late. But you've got a hat on a hat right now. Your back does a great job coming through. And then Richardson makes him feel his weight and pushes that thing in the end zone. We're going to see a throw off this. They've run this kind of almost quarterback sweep, quarterback outside zone a few times. There's going to be a throw off that, I'd imagine, eventually. Really good job up front. Etienne did a great job right there. And then Richardson, awesome job running through contact. All right, so let's get to the defense. Looks like you almost got a tight front here to start. He looks like he's in a 4-eye. He's in a nose. He looks like he's in a 4-eye. So 4 eyes are inside shade of the tackle. These guys are like overhang players. So maybe a little tight front to start the game. South Carolina gives you one a little bit here by 2 guys pulling into each other, which is always helpful. But good job of feeling that down block, squeezing it, getting vertical in the hole, and kind of blowing up this pull right here. And then Bernie does a good job of kind of sorting through the trash here and making this play in the backfield right there. So good start to the game right there. And a little bit of a different front. Not something they've never done before. They've done it more and more frequently recently, but not something they do all the time. Then on second down, you get an interesting kind of look here. He's coming inside right now. Bernie's coming outside, it seems like right now. He strings the play out. And then you get a great job by the safety coming down and filling. But you'll see from the back view, he's inside. He's out right now. I wonder if they had this was on for the read game. Could be almost like a scrape exchange type thing. But maybe they know that Carolina likes to read at the front side like this a lot. So once I go inside, I know I'm going to give it. And then you have this guy coming screaming for the outside. So scrape exchange, exchanging gaps. He's right there right now. And then the safety does a great job cleaning it up right there on second down. And I think we got a back view here. Again, if I'm reading, if Carolina likes to read it like this across the front, read this guy, well, as soon as I go in here, I know that's triggering a give. So he's going to give it. And that's why I bring him out here. Please give it right to this dude that you're not blocking. And then great job cleaning this thing up. It doesn't look like they were reading him, but maybe that's something they saw that they might get from Carolina here. So this is a good job of like you go back to the Missouri game. Why did they give up 3rd and 18? Because guys were playing these flat routes so hard and they were giving up stuff behind it, right? So right here, you're not playing. You're playing. Looks like you're playing Tampa 2, but you're playing soft. You got 2 high safeties. You got the Mike, who's at the line of scrimmage right here. He turns and runs the pipe. These guys look like they're playing as cloud corners right here. But look at them get depth, right? Against Missouri, these guys are playing at 3 to 5 yards. Right here, he's getting depth, and then bringing this off the edge here. You get a free rusher, the quarterback. You know he's going to have to throw quickly. And now you can come down to it and make a good tackle. Great job right there, especially on that guy. That's a big dude for the corner to come down and tackle. So good stuff. Make them force a quick throw and then rally and tackle. Next drive for Florida. Bring the motion across. This was great. And then he kind of goes – they run this boot and this guy pops open twice. If this guy pops open right now, just take him, right? Regardless of what you're doing. I don't know if you're here and he's running you're totally flood. If it's 2nd and 10, the old saying, you never go broke taking a profit. Right there, drop it to him. Once this guy's outflanked, put it on him. Let him get what he can get. You put it on him. He turns upfield, picks up 10. Later in the game, you see Richardson try to string it out a little bit, and it ends up being a big loss. And it kind of takes Florida out of a chance to score a touchdown. I don't think they end up – I don't know. Can't recall if they end up getting any points on it. But regardless, Florida, I tell you what, they like to run a lot of the same things in different looks. So we've talked about Y cross. They run it with this guy being here, this guy being there, and the back in the backfield, right? And this guy just running a go. But Y cross, what is it trying to do? It's trying to get a guy in the flat, a guy deep, and then the deep crosser coming to kind of the same way. So you get that nice triangle right here. You're going to get to your spots here just in a little bit of a different way. So to run, and then it likes to have, you always go like a dig behind it, right? So for this first spot, you're going to run a hitch. That's the short spot right here. For the deep spot here, you're going to run a corner. So you're just running smash. For the crosser, you got a deep crosser. And you have the dig that comes behind the deep crosser, right? So this is just Y cross. Same thing they ran earlier on the third to Pearsall. Same for the quarterback. Reads the same. It's just how do I get guys in those spots in a different way? So how do they get this guy, instead of this guy just running a go route to get to that spot, they're going to have the slot run a corner. This one it ends up being a good throw. This one was a little dicey to me. Right here, it's kind of borderline, and he's got a good enough arm. He can make the throw. This guy's kind of off and bailing to me, but he does have that a little bit of a forward lean. I used to tell my quarterbacks, kind of look for that forward lean. If a guy's leaning, back and all his weight's there, it's going to be hard for him to stop and drive on this thing. But if he's already kind of got a little bit of a forward lean there, it's not hard for him to drive. So, right, Richardson might see a little bit of a forward lean there, and he rips this throw into the corner route. Great throw. This guy was trying to bait him a little bit. He was trying to sink underneath that thing. Good throw. You get away with it. That's one you might want to be careful with. If he's going to be sinking that much, it's all right to throw that thing. But fits it in there. Good catch by the receiver. Good run after catch. You get a big play. And again, for the quarterback, easy read. It's the same thing I've been doing all year, just it looks a little different to the defense. All right, this was nice to see, right? You have all these things attached. Take advantage of them. If nobody goes out there, throw it out there. Let your guy win one-on-one. why teams like Tennessee are so good and their offenses are so successful is because they have these kind of screens packaged in all the time. And if you don't honor them, they throw it out there and at least they're going to pick up 5 on them. Get me in 2nd and 5. And when I'm in 2nd and 5, I'm got a lot bigger chance of being successful. All right, so you pick up a first down. Now you got 1st and 10 here. So you got 1st and 10 here. You pick up a first down. You got Pearsall snuck in here as a wing. In a typical 12 personnel look, right? You got 11 personnel, but they make it look like it's 12 personnel by having a tight end here and a wing. Typically, the wing's a second tight end, right? Here it's Pearsall hiding. Use the motion. Everything they've done in play action for the most part is coming back across the formation. A lot of boot stuff, selling this downhill, get these guys to bite. In the red zone, they have done a couple where they're bringing the crosser back across the grain. I think they had one against Texas A&M last week. At least it looked like it. And they got one here. So, right, you get the corner. Instead of kind of sitting back here playing, he drives this crossing route here. And now you've got Pearsall matched up on a safety with all that room. So good design here. And then a really good throw and catch here at the end of it, right? These guys got to make a play. Great throw, perfect spot, and then great catch by Pearsall there for a touchdown. So Florida's offense is rolling. Defensively, they're doing pretty good too. Again, here you look at, it looks like a tight front. 4-eye, nose. Interesting that they got the freshman safety kind of appears almost as edge player. Wonder what that says for kind of his future, if he's going to be maybe almost like a hybrid guy there a little bit. But it looks like you kind of got a similar look to the last one where you've got it's somewhat like to Tampa almost. He looks like he's playing a cloud corner right there. It's kind of cover 3 cloud almost. Where I think he's got deep third. He's got deep third, but what they're doing here is they're kind of bracketing one deep here. So you see they both got eyes on him there. And then you do a pretty – South Carolina's got to keep 2 extra guys in protection, but you do a good job of winning. So good job kind of covering this up, showing a little bit of different look. And then he runs into the sack there. 3rd and 17. I think you try to go to something similar almost here. At least you've got where it looks kind of like a dagger concept. That's going to clear these. That's going to rather, let me run this back. So that's going to clear out the safety right there. If this is the same kind of idea, 3 cloud, 2 Tampa, he's playing the flat. He's vertical, so that's going to eat up the safety there. He's going to run a dig underneath it. He just got to get in that hip pocket, which you see Florida DB do later. Get in that hip pocket, kind of break on that thing. But good design. This happens sometimes. Good design, and you don't get home on the pass rush. He clears out the safety. So now it's one-on-one with a ton of room for this throw. So you bring a guy late. He's adding on here for the tight end. Just opens up the middle of the field. But good design by South Carolina. That's going to happen. Now, you don't want to see it happen on 3rd and 17, but it happens. South Carolina was a team that ran a ton of misdirection. So it was good to see Florida ready for that. They've kind of killed people with it. Florida was ready. Ventramo does a great job coming off the block there for no gain or even the loss of 1. So now you got them in 3rd and 11. Win the pass rush rep up front. Make this thing come out a little sooner than normal. And then when you do that, you got to make precise throws. You see the corners on there as well. He looks like he's up. They could be It's hard to tell exactly what they're playing. It looks like he's outside leverage here. Um, it's hard to tell without seeing him. Is he coming back across to poach this? Is this like a solo coverage to where that's manned up right here? He's coming across for three. It's hard to see once they zoom in like this, but you can see that Florida forced the ball to come out quick into a shrinking window right there, and you've got to make a great throw and great catch to complete it. That's what you want to do as a defense, make it hard. Florida gets the ball back, 1st and 10 here. This is one where if these three guys, I'd imagine if the corner and what would appear to be both the safeties, right? Same idea, post, deep crosser, shallow crosser. Hey, it's Y cross again. Same look as the smash route combined with it, right? Same idea, similar idea at least. Trying to get one over the top. I would imagine if the safeties bite, I'm looking here at the crosser. And if somebody's on that, then I come down here, right? Don't want to force this, right? This is one where you've got a pretty good pocket. You might be able to eliminate this thing pretty early, I would imagine. And that's one thing young quarterbacks can do. All young quarterbacks can do better. Eliminate things quicker, right? If it's not there, pretty quick, especially if somebody's sitting in the middle of the field, right? If you got a post and there's a guy just sitting in the middle of the field closed, or they rotate in the middle of the field closed, you're probably not going to get it. Come down, look for the crosser. If they cover that up, then bang, you can drop it down to the shallow right there for a nice play on 1st down. I like the aggressiveness, but you want to be safe, right? All right, so check this out. Little hidden thing Napier talked about after the game. First of all, great run. We're going to see it from the back view. It's beautifully blocked. The motion, not everyone. There are people complaining about all the motion earlier in the year. It does a great job here. But what's interesting is this motion. Richardson has the ability to give this. So this is a read. So he's got a lot on him, a lot more, I think, than meets the eye. So right here, you see we're all blocking what would appear to be wide zone. And then here, we're blocking for the jet. So he could pop this to Pearsall and run the jet there. Or if he likes the look, which as he motions, he rotates to the middle. There's a safety just off screen that rotates over, gets himself out of position. I think you'll see it better from the back view. And then he's still kind of eyeing this motion here as Etienne scoots right by him. He's it froze him for a second. Etienne does a great job housing this thing. But let's see from the back view. So right here on the broadcast, they were talking about why did this guy plug in backside? Well, first, this thing got moving quick, but this motion is going to hold your eyes for a second. That's kind of the intent of it. And then awesome job up front. You get this guy hooked. That's beautiful right there. Running around the inside hand right there. He's looking to overtake. He's going to widen it, push this thing out. You've got a hat on a hat. You see the safety right here is rotating out of the middle of the field. And here's the one that was kind of the corner on top of Pearsall. He's over-rotated basically. And now he's got to come up and fill. And, right, you make corners tackle. Make corners, make tackles. Florida's Jaden Hill earlier made a great tackle. Make corners, make tackles. They don't all like to do it. So here you go, 3rd and 6. One of the few 3rd down conversions the defense gave up. This was one I just not quite sure. I think you get caught up. I think this is the backers looking for the back coming across. Is he kind of thinks it's going to be the back across. So he starts to kind of move across, trying to play this and sift through the trash. What South Carolina actually does is just bring the counter look from the same side. So he's just going to be here and right back there. So as the backer thinks he's got to play across the top here for that coming across, the back's actually just coming right to the same side. So I think he does a pretty good job with his puller and kind of spilling this thing out, I would imagine. pretty good job kind of slowing that down. If your backer's kind of here and sees that and getting over the top, maybe he can bottle this up a little bit. Maybe a holding call. Well, your second backer does a good job limiting them for an 8-9 yard gain, but still enough for a first down. But I believe it was just he was thinking the back was coming across. South Carolina had a nice little change up where the back stayed on the same side. So a little bit different look than normal counter, especially out of the gun, and normal runs out of the gun. So a little change up, but Florida presented some change ups of their own here. From the short side, you bring the corner, get the pressure immediately. Rattler's definitely a guy that you can kind of get to get the ball out of his hands quickly. He's not going to – he doesn't seem to be a guy that's going to sit in there and take it on the chin. He's going to use his athleticism and try to escape and then get the ball out of his hands. So good job bringing that corner from the short corner. Then right here, they're looking for some crossers. I think they're hoping they get man, right? Well, that's the answer. Everyone says just play more man. I think they're hoping they get man on some crossers, and they actually get a couple guys squatting in the flat that are just hoping they throw it. So right here, he's looking. You can see Rattler's looking. I want to throw this crosser, but he's just squatting, waiting for it. Please throw that thing. I'm going to light this dude up, or if you miss, I'm going to intercept it, right? So then Rattler's got to pull it down. By the time he pulls it down, Dexter's there doing a great job. So good change up, right? 3rd and 9. Maybe you think I bring pressure. They've brought some pressure a few times here. They just sit back and play coverage. Might be 3 cloud again, where these are your 3 deep, cloud or flat. Right, and then a great job with the rush up front. Here's the one I talked about earlier to the nub side. So they even start with a tight end here, motion him across. But just look, if I'm reading this guy, what's left out here? This is something they showed on film. If you watch the preview, I mentioned it. I thought Florida had some good looks in here, especially if you're going to run the quarterback. That gives you really unique looks. Right there, he squeezes down, bluff. Now you got the tight end for whoever's left. He actually runs by it. And now you get Richardson out for an easy 3rd down conversion. This one gets caught. Wait, it's hard to tell if this is a wind back, if he's trying to press it and then cut this thing back. The handoff is different than some of their normal runs here. But either way, he ends up getting this thing all the way back across the formation. And then good job blocking on the perimeter. Right, so some of the wind back stuff they do is here, and then he's falling. But the line appears to be working this way. He ends up getting out the back door here. Whether that's by design, I don't think it was, but it could be by design there. Either way, great run. I don't think it was because I don't know. I don't think he would have put the ball out of his left hand if it was designed to go left. But having to switch to the old outside arm there. Always good to see Richardson involved in the run game and see him kind of pull it now. He obviously has the green light now to pull this thing, and he's just dangerous with the ball in his hands. 3rd and 10 here. Florida goes to, I think they just fade up here. You're going to have a corner out. It looks like a snag route, and then he's going to go. I'm not sure if he's got the same idea here where it's hitch and go. He kind of comes inside a little late. But I think you can get, to me, once this guy stops his feet. Now, this is the one you're worried about. So maybe this is what Richardson saw. Didn't want to throw a hospital ball. But as soon as this guy stops his feet, it's over because Pearsall's coming in. He's going to stop for a second, and then he's gone. So as soon as this guy stops his feet, it's over. I could just put it on his upfield shoulder here. So bang. If I put it on him right now, watch, I'm ready to throw. If I put him on him right now, He's at worst, one-on-one with this guy at the goal line. He probably gets in. But this isn't a bad decision either because you have the corner playing up on him. You have the corner out there. He's got, right, it's man-to-man, so he's got leverage right now. So I see the decision. Just lay it out to the corner there. Now, maybe him getting hit causes him to kind of short arm this thing. He can't really step into it. Give him a little air out to the corner. I think it's not a bad decision, but you got some room here to put that thing in there. And you got a shot. But I think he also could have gone to Pearsall and would have been all right. Another time bringing pressure off the edge, and this is a great play here by the linebacker. Tracking this guy all the way across here. A guy that's a pretty good player for South Carolina. He's not a scrub, right? This is a pretty good player. Tracks him all the way across, makes the tackle for a 2-yard gain. That's big time. Right here, another big time. They're trying to do a little power read themselves. Great job just killing this pull right here. Forcing this thing outside. Corner comes up. The blocker's coming at him, and then the linebacker. Awesome job here. Running this thing down for 2 yards. 1st and 10. It looks like, again, South Carolina's hoping they get some type of man look. Trying to get some movement off this bubble. I think he's trying to come back inside. They do a great job here, these two. He's going to attack the bubble, and you can see him turn and kind of waiting for something to come inside now. See his eyes right here. And he wants to come in here. That's dead. Can't throw that one. Can't throw this one. So what do? Pull it down. Pick up no gain. 3rd and 6. Same front side counter look. This time you bring the safety from the backside, and Trey Dean makes a great play right here. Running this thing down from the backside. Because, again, this counter to the same side is a tough look. Right here, you look like they have kind of leverage right there if they don't get this. But awesome job back here playing this thing hard, pulling it down. All right, so I wanted to give this guy a shout-out. I don't know if he's watching, but this guy, great anticipation right here. We'll do it in slow motion. Watch the fake. Watch the fake, right? This guy's all over it. Awesome job by him. Now, why is this fake successful? This isn't like an 80s glamour shot here. This is it doesn't cut to the snap before we get this picture out here. So it's not like laser lights in the background trying to be a yearbook photo here. These are 2 gunners right here. They are off the ball. This is by formation. And what's tough about special teams, right, is especially like punt team, guys covering punt, the guy that's your tackle on the punt team is not always a lineman, right? It might be a safety. It could be, right? It could be kind of anybody. It's just you're not having offensive linemen typically out there on the punt team covering punts, right? So you're not used to seeing big bodies out there. You're used to seeing smaller bodies. Well, here's your snapper. So here's your center. Here's your guard. Here's your tackle, right? Incorrect. So South Carolina goes tackle over. So here's 1 tackle. Here's 2 tackles. Here's your guard. Here's your center. Here's your guard. And here, even though he's lined up in the spot normally a tackle would be, is to carry on Joyner. We'll call him, we'll just say wide receiver. But he's and this plays a tight end basically. But why is the confusion? He's lined up at tackle here. So the linebacker, they might say, okay, it's safe, it's man, right? Because these guys go inside, they play them almost man, right? It's man, safe. Well, real quick glance to this side, there's no man, right? It's the tackle. I'm not covering. We don't typically cover the tackles on man coverage, right? but South Carolina went tackle over. So this guy is eligible. So that's how he got so open. It wasn't just man coverage. This guy totally, it's not, hey, it's man coverage. He totally bust. This is a really good design, especially when you got to recognize it quick on these punt teams, right? So here's your tackle, basically, but he's the end man on the line of scrimmage, so he's eligible. That's the key, right? It takes a lot to diagnose that this fast because here, these two are on, these two are off. So that means this guy circled is eligible. So just really good design from South Carolina. There's not much you can do. The good part is you make them waste that when it's a 24-0 game. So great design on their part, and not just because they're running routes that are good against man coverage. It's the tackle over portion is the great design of it, because that's hard to recognize on special teams. Watch how this thing's blocked up right here. This is blocked up just about perfect. I mean, this guy gets held by Richardson. You're here, you help here, and then get to climb there. He goes to fill here. I mean, this thing's just blocked so perfect. Just look at that. Richardson holds him. You've reached him. You got to the second level here. Getting to the second level there. You've reached him. You've got him. I mean, the back doesn't get touched, so he's 15 yards downfield. Awesome stuff. All right, third quarter, first play. Good effort coming downhill and recognizing this from the I think that's the biggest thing. A good thing to see from the safeties is them coming downhill and really filling the alley, running the alley, fill the alley, make a great play here. You had the same front side counter here, uncovered, so he pulls it and decides to throw it out there. Good job rallying to the ball here, and a great hit to jar the ball loose. So Florida gets the ball right back, 1st and 10. Awesome way to start the half. Get the ball early on a turnover. Different formation look, right? Last time Florida ran this, you had a tight end here, a wing, and then you motion him across. A little bit different this time. You got basically do it to the three receiver side if you count the back, then motion away from it. So this guy right here, right? So instead of blocking this guy right here, let's motion across and he'll get out of there, right? Motion, why did Florida motion here? Because they figured either he'd carry it across, which he does, or he'd come down, he'd rotate back. But either way, he's out of the play. So motion him across, manipulate the formation, manipulate the defense, and pick up a nice, easy 9 yards, 10 yards on first down. Good stuff. Here's the one where I'm this is where are they reading this guy? So as he's to the flat, he's gone. He blocks him. Everybody else is kind of blocking normal zone rules here. So does he have eyes here? If so, it doesn't look like it. It looks like his eyes are here. So if he were to read this guy, this would be an easy pull, right? Richardson pulls this. He's out. He blocks him. But if the issue was we're supposed to stay on our rules and block him there and read him, well, then it's a little different, right? So then it's a miss there. So if I'm blocking here, I've got a good chance here if this guy doesn't close. And if he does close, now he's out of the play. Richardson pulls it in this alley. Good luck covering that, right? So I'm not sure where the bust was, but the way the lineman reacts, he kind of gives a clap there right after the camera cuts. May have been him, but that's kind of the issue here. Where am I supposed to be climbing to him and reading him, or am I supposed to be reading him? That's the question. I would think it's more of the we're climbing and we're reading the end would be my guess. But all right, so here's the one. This one you got to get out of your hands right now. Bang, right here. He's got him outflanked. Put it on him right now. Never go broke taking a profit. It's 2nd and 8. At worst, he picks up 3-4. We're in 3rd and 4. Now we're in 3rd and 17, right? And you can see it from this angle here. Bang, right here. Put it on right as soon as he is outflanked right there. Put it on him. Put it on him right now. This guy's flying. If he can get him to widen cut on the brakes, you got something. Or if you don't like that, right? You think this guy's flying. I don't want to throw this because of him. Well, then right here, that's what this is for. If they all fly to him, this is a trail. So right here, I don't like that. Get your eyes right here. Put it on him. Now, I understand you're an athletic freak, and we want you to take more control in the run game, right? But, never go broke taking a profit. Just take it. If it's there, take it. Move on to the next play. And guess what he does the next drive? He does that for an easy touchdown. I think this is the play of the year here. Again, Florida is in what appears to be a tight front look. Again, with the safety here as kind of this fourth player, interestingly. He looks like he may be a head up, but knows. And then the man, the myth, the legend, rips it out, switches hands, puts on a stiff arm. Just beautiful. What he does a great job here is, right, they try to double him, holds up at the point of attack. Linebacker fills. He has to come off. And now he's able to kind of fight through this block, get an arm around the ball carrier, and then have the presence of mind to rip that thing out. And then if he scores, this might be a top 10 play in college football history if he scores that. I mean, that's unbelievable. So here it is, right? We talked about it. If this guy comes open right now, give it to him. Bang, he's open, put it on him. Don't need to wait. Just put it on him. Easy money. That's all you got to do. Appears to be man coverage. You're bringing some pressure. You lose, but you also funnel him inside. You know where your help is right there. You got the safety helping you. Then good job by the safety coming downhill, right? Making the play, and then good awareness, right, to stay with it. And the ball skills to catch that thing. Now you're turning into a runner. Hold on to that thing. I think it's my great catch on the sideline, a little high step afterwards as well. Good stuff. So this one I think is just a bust. You've got a play action, but it certainly looks like this receiver here is coming off to stock block. So I think you got a shot. Maybe he's a deep crosser and he's got a deep post behind it. But I think you get some wires crossed here. Because you can see he's starting to break down. I don't think I don't think they're selling the play action this hard to where one of the receivers is going to break down. And you can see he's still here. So I'd imagine the idea was, which I think would probably be a pretty good one, he's going to run the deep crosser. He's probably got a vertical post. And you can see what happens at the end here. Let's see who ran with Pearsall, right? You got the safety and the corner, looks like ran with Pearsall across. Well, there's your room for the deep, skinny post, right? You'd have a one-on-one shot there. That's my guess of what was supposed to happen. Little mess up. No worse for wear. Again, jet read, power read. This is going to be this is a nice weapon for Florida to have in their arsenal. It can really put these defensive ends on skates because now you got to worry about being read. You got to worry about getting reached. You got to worry about getting kicked out. There's a lot of conflict for defensive ends against this Florida offense. Another pull. Like I said, great to see. 1st and 10 motion empty. This is one thing that I would like to see added on, right? So Etienne's a pretty good athlete. Seems to have pretty good hands when they give him a chance. This guy's not a super athletic linebacker here. If they put the linebacker out there, I'd like to see them try to throw that thing out there to ETN. I mean, if they just put it on him right here, you're one-on-one with this guy. That's not a bad option. But he goes up top. I think you've got the snag, corner, flat, another air raid combination. You see this thing everywhere. Not a bad throw really here. Not a bad decision. Kind of getting his arm held there. Pretty good spot really for this ball. This would have been a great catch there, obviously, but pretty good spot for the throw. And then I think you do have the option to throw this thing out here to the back too, especially if that linebacker's bailing like that. Give him a shot. 3rd and 7. This is one where you just got to here. It's just curl flat. Right there. As soon as you see him running with the back, I'm thinking I'm throwing this curl right behind his head. And Richardson's got the arm to do it. Bang, right there. Let that thing rip right to this spot right here. Let your tight end come right into that window. And you've got the first down. Right here, you kind of wait. This probably still should be caught, but this is kind of the next step right here is anticipate this throw. You see, right, the motion. You see this guy's flying out with the motion. So I'm not as worried about him. So as soon as I see that go inside and he's there too, I know that guy's clearing. Just bang right behind his ear. Defense 2nd and 16. Right. I think you try to get the similar play here, right? Where they're clearing. They're trying to run this guy to clear these two out. Run the dig underneath it, right? Just like they did on the 3rd and 17. Great job here by the corner, being in the hip pocket and playing through the hands. You can see here, they've got 2 on him. Then this is a great job right here. Watch him play through the hands here. Ball's a little bit behind him. Nice job. Really good play. And then great job playing screen, right? South Carolina throws a ton of balls behind the line of scrimmage. You got to be expecting screen on some of these long down and distances. Good job playing it. Really, everybody hold that thing for like a 3-yard gain there. It's pretty good stuff. Later on in the 3rd quarter, you get 1st and 10 here. There's not too many left just because Florida's, defenders kind of – you got to play some young guys here. You didn't have to play a bunch of older guys here. So you end up getting kind of a 3-over-2 over here. So they bring him off the edge, but you've got these 3 for these 2. You can see them kind of zone this off here. He's got eyes here. So he goes inside and they try to switch release it. Do a good job passing this thing off right here. Forces him to pull it down. Then great job running to the ball. Right there. So again, you're getting a mix of coverages here. Not just straight. This looks like man, but it's not. You talk about the safeties coming downhill. Here's another one. This is a great job. Right? This is a couple reps under center. They brought pressure from the outside. Bring that pressure, forced him to drop it off, and now Phil. That's a great job right there by the safety. Coming downhill, fill in the alley for no gain. Right here, 4th down. Only bring 4 here. Again, looks like 3 cloud, where these guys are cloud corner. Deep third, deep third, deep third. Running the flat. Great pass rush, forces him to step up, throw this under duress, high throw, and that's the ball game. So great job by the Florida defense. Florida offense had some good stuff going too. Really, really good to see Florida put back-to-back games together. Really kind of on offense back-to-back games, kind of a half in a game on defense. You need to see them carry this momentum forward against Vanderbilt. obviously getting ready for a big game next week on Black Friday. So that game is a lot more interesting now than it looked a couple weeks ago.